Hello and welcome. Good evening. I am currently at Welford Truck Stop. Why? You don't ask. In a word, Brexit. Whereas in the before times, I could quite happily smash out 5 loads a week. Delivery, collection, get down to the port, drop the trailer, pick the next one up, park up for the night, call it a day. Easy, job's a good one. Now, I quite often find myself dropping a load at some point in the week. To fill you in so far, Monday, fairly simple. I already had my trailer that I picked up on Friday, I think. Delivered that Monday morning, did the pickup in Kettering, which was a load of cereal. And food is proving to be probably the hardest thing to export at the minute, because you need not just the customs forms, the T1 document for exports, rules of origin, health certificates if it applies, not for cereals, and various other complicated bits. So that would have been dropped off Monday night. Because food is difficult to export, it takes forever before you can get an LRN number, which is what you need to get your MRN before you can export. So I spent all this morning, it was about 10:15 when I finally managed to clock on, to try and get rid of this trailer and then eventually pick up the one that I've got now, which should have been dropped off this morning at 8:30, which didn't happen. Got up here to Corby, which is where it's getting dropped off, only to be told that you should have been here this morning. Welcome to the Brexit shire. So yeah, they wouldn't take it and told me to come back tomorrow morning, which is now tomorrow morning. So this should have got dropped this morning and done my collection down at Hook, and I should be now back at Harwich. But this load is now completely gone. Today's been a waste of time and a waste of money, because the boss has had to pay me a day's wages to achieve nothing, really. But yes, that's the way things are now. Yes, the way things are now, it's highly variable. It can go from super smooth, easy as you wouldn't know any difference, all the way to what I've had now, sitting around for all night, all next day. I think the other week was worse. That was up till, it was a collection from the same place actually, the cereals. I was sitting around for 20 hours. I didn't clock on until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is the things that we now have to deal with post-Brexit. So that's how my week is going so far. It is just gone 9 o'clock, or just coming up to 9 o'clock. I am going to go to bed, and I will see you in the morning. Morning. Oh, yeah, probably doesn't look much different than there was a second ago, apart from that I look more wrecked. Yes, one thing I've discovered whilst doing this job, I'm definitely a night owl. I should be going to bed at 6:30 in the morning, not getting up. However, having a quick look outside, there does appear to have been a light dusting of snow overnight. Again, I thought it was only going to be for like one day, because that big storm came in. But it keeps snowing every day, so it appears here to stay. But yeah, Corby is where I'm delivering to. It's about 20 minutes down the road, so I'm going to clock on in a minute and do my daily checks and whatnot. Everything else is filled in, good. Cool. Everything else still works. No new problems, nothing needing to get fixed. I'm not the only LKW here, there's one over there as well. All good to go on the tacho. So we'll set off. Seems most of the other trucks are gone. A bit bumpy. -1. Just when I thought spring was arriving, the days are starting to get light and it's warm, it just suddenly turns cold and wintry again. Get onto the concrete quickly. There we go. That's a bit smoother. What are you doing, car? You're going to sit there? Nice. Take a wide turn. You're indicating, but are you going? Nope. Okay. Move forward a little bit at least. Kettering, Corby to the left. No engine temperature, and I'm straight on to a dual carriageway. So it's around 20-30 minutes down the road, and then we'll see if this the forklift drives a little bit more of a cheery fellow this morning. He's not particularly happy to see me yesterday. You should have been here at 9:30. Well, I would have been in the good old days, but now I have to deal with paperwork and stuff. So it's not quite so simple anymore. Yeah, steaming away. It's because the engine's cold. It'll settle down once it warms up. Steam should go away. I think you should be able to see it out of that. Set the cruise control and then just let the engine slowly warm itself up. There we go, it's gone. Engine started to warm up. The dial's just started moving, so there we go. Engine's getting warm, but the plan, head to Corby. That's assuming it hasn't changed from yesterday, but head to Corby, drop this off, and then head down to Hook, do a trailer swap, and then head up to Harwich. And the lot I'm going to be collecting from is the waste lot Biffa. They sort out their own customs paperwork on site, so they're usually pretty good. It takes anywhere from about 15 minutes to an hour. On a bad day, maybe 2. But once they've sorted all the paperwork out, that's it. Because they've sorted out their own paperwork on site, you're then guaranteed good to go. So I'll be able to drop the trailer off tonight and get whatever tomorrow's job is. So yeah, Biffa are one of the quicker at sort stuff out. Sometimes you'll get companies that sort out the paperwork ahead of time, so as soon as you picked it up, you can just immediately set off. And then some, like the food stuff I had yesterday, they take forever to sort out. You have to wait for the LRN number. You have to get your own paperwork. Some are organised enough to get the LRN number sorted before you arrive to the port, so you can immediately just pull in, sort out the paperwork, drop the trailer off, get the next one up, and then park up for the night. So yeah, it's highly variable, but compared to what it was when we first started, well, in fact it was so bad when we first started that I was doing groupage work out of Southampton, because LKW had no idea how bad it was going to be, and was struggling to get trailers across. And then the first 2 weeks went past, and I was back on LKW again, and it was quite bad. It took forever to sort everything out. No one knew what they were doing with the paperwork. And as the weeks have gone past, it's slowly getting better. Everyone's beginning to get the idea of what they need to do. The drivers like me are learning what we need to do, what these different numbers are, and where you need to go to get the paperwork sorted. The customs agents are slowly getting recruited and trained, and they're getting to know what to do. So eventually we will get up to speed. That is until the grace periods run out, because we are supposed to be checking our own stuff as stuff's coming in, which at the minute we're not. June or July that runs out, and then we have to start checking stuff coming inbound, so that might mean even these get checked, and whether they get pre-checked or they get checked once I've picked them up, I'm not sure yet, but we'll learn that as we go. And then there's various other grace periods, like to do with meats and again food, which might mean exporting stuff's more difficult or near impossible. But yeah, we'll work it all out as we go. May have to do new trade deals with Europe, or come crawling back to the single market or full EU membership, who knows. Time will tell, but at the minute it's just work it out as you go. It's a learning curve for everyone. So 25 minutes later, we are here. Nice little short run. It'd be nice if they would be like that. But yeah, rarely do you have enough time to drive most of the way to your destination the day before. Find out if the yard is empty. Is that empty, or is that another truck? No, it's empty. Cool, let's see if we can get unloaded then. I'll take the chance of just driving straight into the yard. It does vary. Some places don't mind, and some places get a bit annoyed. You weren't given authorization. Try and get the trailer in the middle so they can get to both sides. I think that's fairly even. There we go. Drop the suspension and see if we can find someone. I still haven't got a third camera yet, so can't really do much in the way of external stuff still. But it's just a load of boxes of stuff, plastic stuff. Cardboard boxes on pallets, that's all it is, so nothing particularly exciting. Keys with you, and gloves, need them. Okay, they've kind of changed the job, but it's still the same. Yeah, so it's still the same job, but they've just sort of nudged it up to today. So yeah, can write Tuesday off as a loss. Take a picture, they've signed it, yep. Oh, where are camera? Oh, it should be in the documents. Where is it? Gallery. It is there, yes. Upload. Write the job number down so we can trace the paperwork back if we need it. That job is now done. Go to Biffa hook, drop this trailer up, pick the next one up. A simple drop and swap, except they don't pack the trailer away once they've loaded it. You have to do that. We'll see how bad it is. If it's fairly decent, you can just sort of like precariously balance everything, and then run it onto the weigh scale so they can start doing the paperwork, and then I can finish packing up the trailer whilst they do that, and we don't waste as much time as we would do otherwise. And run it up to Harwich like we should have done yesterday instead of today. But such is life. I think we're good to go. Reservoir pressure too low. It's because the trailer's got an air leak. So today's trailer I'm currently pulling is a high deck, although I discovered when I was doing the groupage work a European high deck is not quite the same as a UK high deck. The UK ones are even higher still and a lot thicker and stiffer, so they don't bend as much up front, which you would have seen if you follow the Instagrams. I showed the difference between when you pick up a fully loaded one when it's resting on the legs as opposed to when it's resting on the fifth wheel. It bends down at the front when it's resting on the legs, and it bends up when it's resting on the fifth wheel. And it's probably about a good 8 inches or so the front end starts bending before it actually starts lifting up the legs, which if the trailer is dropped too low is a bit of a pain, because you jack the suspension right up and the trailer barely lifts off the floor. A14 this way. I don't know what's happened there. It looks like he's had his windows and mirrors smashed off. Nice little cling film job just to cover it up. Can't imagine it's particularly effective though, especially at 2 degrees Celsius. Still going to be very cold. pulling off the motorway. We're almost there, just over 2 hours. 2 hours, 3 minutes or so. So not too bad. A little bit quicker than I was expecting. Now if you ever collect from Biffa, you will quickly learn that every site does things their own little way, has their own little quirks. I've done a few of them now. I've done Eastleigh, down on the south coast near Southampton, Portsmouth, somewhere around there. I've done this one at Hook, Eversley, one at Wembley, one at is it Barking, I think, Barking or Dagenham. I think that's it. Might have done one somewhere else, but I can't think what it would be. But they all do things their own little way, and the one that I'm going to today, their little quirk is they do drops and swaps. So I'll take this trailer in empty, drop it in the yard somewhere, hook up to another one, and then strap that load down, and then take it off up to Harwich. Yeah, there was one point coming down the M1, there was a truck driver who was getting quite irate at everyone and everything for some reason. Blew his horn, gave a gesture at some truck driver, and he blew his horn up at a car, and he was flashing his lights at me at one point as well. I think somebody needs to pull over and have a break. Past Blackbush Airport, which back in the day used to be Heathrow, or the equivalent of Heathrow. This was where all the rich and famous and anybody would fly into, and then you'd get your car or whatever up to London. But then Heathrow got built and it took over. Kind of the same story as Croydon Airport. That's where you flew into for South London, and then Gatwick took over. Only difference is Croydon doesn't exist anymore. Blackbush does exist, at least as a private airfield. Past British car auctions. Don't know if Kev T does anything up there, or is he just dealing with scrap cars maybe? Don't know, don't have no time to watch anyone's videos. I'd like to. Maybe one day. Once the old COVID stuff blows over and we get back to doing event work. You end up with doing a run somewhere and then 3-4 days off whilst you wait for the event to happen. So then pack up and leave. You get 3-4 days in between. Not all of the jobs sound like they're like that, but a few of them are. Maybe I'll get a few days of downtime to watch a few videos then maybe. Yeah, was it one of our guys, January I think it was, yeah, one of our guys in January went down to Monaco. He was down there for 2 weeks, so that was a nice little run. It would have been expensive. Monaco's not the cheapest of places. That one coming. And then yeah, you got the doom and gloom of Brexit. Oh, the UK's doing terribly. Oh no, we'll come crawling back to the EU at some point. There's money to be made from anything, whether we're in or out. You just got to look for it. And the export market's becoming quite lucrative potentially at the minute. know White's, or Ray White's Transports picked up a few exports that they wouldn't normally do. I know that we've done one just recently, because the European guys aren't bringing stuff. There's some like Birmingham to Hungary stuff, and the European guys don't want to do it anymore. So I don't know if it's a permanent thing, but we've done one, so Birmingham to Hungary and Hungary back to Birmingham. So it's a nice 2-3 day run. And this is it. The barrier's going down. There's the trail, so that one too. Where's my phone? I think that might be the one. So that trailer there is the one I'm picking up. Looks like they've done at least what they've done last time, which is strap the front half up. I might have to do the back half, and then depending on whether it's got boards or whatnot, put those in, run it up onto the weighbridge, park here in front of this warehouse, and then wait for the paperwork. I've been allowed in a bit earlier than I was expecting. $29.09, yeah, that's mine. He's going in, wait for the weigh scale to get to 0. Oh, minus 20. Squeeze it on, we should be about 15 tonnes empty. Just over 15-20. I'll go book in, probably park up on the left or up at the far end like that guy's doing. There's our guy. Where's he gonna put us? Okie doke. Next to that one. And there we go. Drop this trailer, pick that one up over there, have lunch. What do I need? Gloves. my fifth wheel finally let go of the jewels and the kingpin. It was a bit overly attached. Pull forward a little bit, drop the suspension. Had a bit of a result today. Started undoing the curtains like I normally do. The guy came up and said don't bother. Suspension back to normal. No big bangs or nothing, so I think we're good. Nothing attached still. This is the one. Move some planks of wood out the way, otherwise I'm going to run them over. Drop the suspension, drop the lift axle. You eventually want to drop, there we go. Back it under. About there. Lift the suspension up and then gently, in theory, gently reverse onto the pin, but the clutch can get a bit grabby sometimes. Boom. Tug test. All good. Yeah, attach the trailer and then find out what state of packing all the gear is. Gloves. I'll change you back to other work. Don't need you for anything, do I? Or do I? Not yet. Well, that is very generous of them. They've strapped the whole load down and pulled the boards back in as well. Well, strapping these down and putting the boards back in can take upwards of an hour normally. So that's saved me an hour. It's very kind of you, Biffa Eversley. Thank you. As soon as this trailer gets enough air, it can start to move. Now I just have to precariously reverse back. In fact, because I'm up against this set of stairs, it might be worth pulling away from them first and then reversing. Except there's another guy queuing up now. There we go, movement. Where to? Round in front of me. And now those two are parked where I want to park afterwards. guy wants to go on here next. Maybe not. Just wants to get around. No, don't park in my space. Right, place your bets. How heavy are we going to be? It's usually a full load here. Depends on how heavy the bales are, how close we get. Oh, fairly nice. 43,360. That is not too bad. That's that done. Paperwork can now commence. Whereas before it was literally just fill out a couple of documents, put it in a pouch, there you go, off you go, 5 minutes done. Now everything has to be logged onto the customs documentation, sent off to wherever that needs to go, processed, authorised. Once that happens, then I can get the paperwork and head to the ferry. Some places don't complete the paperwork, and like I've said, you have to pick it up at the port. They've got a carnet paperwork office, customs, douane. However it's pronounced in French. Leave a gap so people can get past in front. There we go. And whilst they do their bit of paperwork, I will go up the curtains. Well, that was good timing. Just as I've done the curtains up, I now have the paperwork, which I now have to take pictures of and send to the boss so that he can double check with LKW that everything is good and in order. So this is something you didn't have to do, you just got the paperwork and left. So yeah, everything's the same. You now have this extra bit, the T1 form, that's the MRN number. So you have to get an LRN number, and then you give that to customs and they'll change it into that. So that one piece of A4 is now what is causing a lot of the delays nowadays. I'll stick these on the back and then have break, because I still haven't had lunch yet and it's now 12:25. It's not too bad, I've had later ones before. The breakdown, we've received confirmation that everything is good to go, so this trailer can definitely be dropped off today. I'll see at some point. A text will probably come in saying what my next job is. When you're ready. And once that comes in, go into Harwich, book this trailer in, check the next one out. Anybody? Nope. Check the next one out, drop this, pick the next one up, and then park up. Where that will be, I'm not sure yet. So I could park up in Harwich, but I'm not exactly pressed for time right now. So I started first start. 7:15 this morning I clocked on, and it's not even 1 o'clock yet. It'll be a couple of hours to Harwich. 2.5, 3 hours. And then decide where to go after that. It really depends on the next job, really. If it's a close job, then I can just park up in Harwich and call it a day. If it's off into Wales or somewhere near Birmingham, it might be worthwhile cracking on a bit of distance today, because Harwich to Birmingham's a good 4 hours. Come on, truck, get a grip. There we go, come on. Yeah, I've never done Harwich to Wales. That'd probably be more than 4.5 hours even. I've done Perfleet to Wales. It's a good 3.5 hours from there. You don't realise how far away Harwich is from everywhere. It's quite a significant distance to get anywhere, apart from maybe London. Even then, London's a good hour or so down the road. The cranes have come into view, so pretty much at Harwich now. Cyclist is causing a little bit of a queue. We don't have enough time to get past him like everyone else has. This is the earliest I've ever arrived, just before 3:30. Normally it's not until 6, 7 o'clock normally, I think. Certainly not arrived here in the daytime, but then I've only been coming here during the winter so far. That will change. The queue has started. It's not too bad though. So you can go all the way back into town and out the other end sometimes, when it's really busy. But this is fairly normal now, because everyone has to book in, do their COVID tests and other paperworks and bits and bobs and make sure everything's good. Haven't heard nothing from LKW yet, so I don't have a trailer for tomorrow. So, silver lining, this queue might delay me long enough that I hear what my next trailer is going to be for tomorrow. No filming allowed in the port, so no point in keeping you, but via the magic of Google. Pulling in off the roundabout, go through the shed, get your picture taken. Go through security, doesn't work anymore for the way in. Into the parking zone, this is the before times, it now has a roundabout type thing in the middle. Over here is the check-in area where you book in and check out your trailer. And this corner here is the customs paperwork office, where you get all your paperwork sorted out. If you're going to be staying the night, this is the parking area and this is where all the facilities can be found. Once checked in, make your way along the road, over the railway line and check in through security. All export trailers get dropped in the red zone, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, whatever, or 3 shed. Trailers to be collected will either be found in the red zone or blue zone, and if it's really busy, you'll find your trailer in green zone, or if it's really, really busy, you'll find it all the way down in warehouse. Once you've got your trailer, make your way to the border controls. This is a shared exit between domestic and international traffic, so if you see a boat parked up, holy dear God, get your act together quick and get out. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in there for a while. Once you're past that, go through the shed, get your picture taken again, make your way round through the last little bit of security, and it's as easy as that. But in that time, it's gone from nice clear blue skies to cloudy and a snowstorm. But as predicted, whilst I was sat in that queue, my trailer for tomorrow came through, and it is all the way out in Solihull, which is near Birmingham, and it's only 4:30, so why not make hay whilst the sun did shine. It's half shining, I can just about see it through the snow, and rattle off a large chunk of this distance today. So instead of having to get up at 4:30 in the morning, I don't have to get up until about 6:30. Are you coming this way? You are. There's a couple of places, some farm cafe looking place which is right near where I want to be. Is a little bit out of the way, or there is where I was this morning at Welford Truck Stop, which is right next to the main road and is a couple of quid cheaper. So I'll probably park there because it's a lot easier to get to. So instead of a 4-hour drive, it'll only be 1.5 hour drive, which will suit me. Fairly busy. There's the guy in the orange, so we need to see if there's a space. Looks like there might be a spot on the left here. It's a bit of a gap. Hi there.
How are we doing?
All good, yeah. Looking to leave what, about 7?
Choice is yours.
Okay.
Go to the fucking canteen.
Yeah, can
See
do.
some lorries up there, just park up next to them.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right.
Okay, thanks. Oh, off the concrete, onto the mud and holes. Jesus. Could do with grading this a bit. Yeah, it's a little bit busier than it was yesterday. I was parked in that daft space to the left of the Ramage. So they said, park up next to these ones, I think, where the cafe is. Yeah, it must be this one, because there's no parking spaces there. Yeah, that's all taken. Quite a surprising amount of space left there.
I'm about a foot off the wall, so you should be alright up to my bumper.
Yeah, okay, thanks. And there we go, in just after 8 o'clock. Rest break, places, begin, no, end place, United Kingdom. Boom, there we go, clocked off. 646 kilometres. Reset that. 32 hours and 45 minutes so far this week. Start time tomorrow 7 o'clock. Thursday. Go over there. And that's a typical post-Brexit day. Faffing about, trying to catch up as best you can and waiting for paperwork. So it's all roughly the same, just more paperwork and more time. Yeah, so I suppose we're technically losing money because we're only doing 4 loads a week most weeks, as opposed to the 5 that I was doing quite happily every week. There But yeah, that's about it really. So until next time, see you then.